MakingStarWars.net.
Oh, hi, I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net. And right here we got BB 88 miles per hour.
Well, Jason, I figure if we're going to rendezvous at the mall in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
Right. I'll bring the used pinball machine parts.
And it got really weird. My ex-girlfriend lived almost across the street from that mall. During the start of the pandemic, we would walk to the mall and just something to do, just to go on a walk, to be outside, to do something. And like whenever I see it now, it's so real and not Back to the Future to me. It's really strange. I took my kids there one time too. But anyways,
the Grove.
What's that?
Is it the Grove?
No, it's not the Grove.
Because I'm convinced they made the Grove look like Twin Pines Mall.
No. Anyways, we got a little scoop tonight, a little story I just put out. I need to get to sharing it, but I'll tell everybody what it is. I just put the article out. It's about the Praetorian Guards in the Mandalorian season 3. And I think we could talk over this video I made. I think if I don't put audio, it doesn't mute us, but let's see what happens. But here we go. This is what the Praetorians will look like in Mandalorian season 3. This is the final costume design. This is real. This is the real deal. That's the real weapon. And
it's photo. It's not concept art. Look at that.
No, it's a concept art. It's concept
art. Oh, it's concept.
It's like it's the costume design. It's what they what they used while they were getting the dudes ready on set.
Okay.
So there you can see it. And the helmets leaked a while ago. At the same time, and this is like weird cosmic coincidence, I was writing about those guys when a photo of the helmets leaked. And but the photo, if you just see the helmet, you just think it's a new Mando helmet made red out of red plastic. If you didn't read my article, it didn't really make as much sense. But I'm gonna go into the I have to refresh my own website. Okay, hold on one second. Hey, come on. You can do it. You could. Is the website gonna let me see my own article? There it goes. Sometimes you got to refresh.
You're on the Bestman plan, huh?
I'm on the Bestman. I know it's my
I'm dodging the hits right now. I'm dodging the hit.
Yeah.
He's punching right through the internet,
So anyways, So we have I have a new article out that I just put out right now that will go with this piece, and I saved a couple of things here and there to talk about on the show. And so here's the article. Exclusive first look at the final design of the Praetorian Guard as they will appear in season 3 of The Mandalorian. And look, it's the video you're watching. What? That's crazy. Yeah. So, all right. So the production of Foundry, aka Star Wars The Mandalorian season 3, was a rough one. One source called it a very overworked, mismanaged, disastrous marathon to nowhere. The management issues permeated into Star Wars Skeleton Crew, and where the friction came to a head without any actual resolution. Foundry had reshoots upon reshoots added to a shoot that was already a bit long. Now, understand, making a Star Wars production is almost always arduous. This was a bit different. I'm reluctant to share specific stories of the crew or even to call out one dickhead manager who has come up repeatedly. Everyone's like, fuck that guy. And as I would not want a source who did not talk to MSW being accused of being an informant. You see what I'm saying? Like if, pretend here for a second. Rob's like, yeah, Arya had the worst day. They wouldn't let her pick up her kids from school. Then I go share. Yeah, they wouldn't let somebody pick up their kids from school. Then they're like, oh, Arya, why'd you say that? Arya didn't say it. Rob told me. So that's where I'm going with this. Okay. So while looking into the story, a part of which I already touched on, and BestmanBulletin.com also backed up similar claims, I required some verification that I am talking to an actual crew member. Journalism 101 stuff. For the record, I've never taken a journalism class in my life. In the process of that, I was given an image of something I had seen I'd seen before, and I know to be real and could not be faked at that time. This source also later said I could keep it, and do what I want with it. And that brings us to today's exclusive of what the crew called the Lobsters. You get it? The Lobsters. The origins of the Praetorian Guards. Question mark. As I exclusively reported back in March, Praetorian Guards from Star Wars The Last Jedi will make their debut in Star Wars The Mandalorian Season 3. I believe this story links up with my other exclusive that Moff Gideon will have new black and red Mandalorian armor himself. Gideon and the Praetorians kind of match how Darth Vader and the Emperor's Royal Guards did in Return of the Jedi. Remember that really rad shot, Rob, where like Vader's getting out of the elevator and you have like the two Royal Guards on both sides?
Yes.
Like it's like all shiny in the light. Yeah, it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
the one thing about the Jedi, Return of the Jedi, I love.
Yeah, that use of red in that movie is.
When they didn't fight favorite. Luke, I was so mad. That's one of the reasons I walk out of that movie pissed. Why didn't Luke fight the guards? Like
they cut a scene where Darth Vader killed them.
I know, but it was shot poorly. I saw that.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying it should have been in the movie.
Like like when he fixes his saber by just doing this. Like that doesn't. What is that? Like who shoots that? Anyways, I'm complaining. Yeah. I'm gonna be positive.
Excuse me.
Please look no.
So I say, imagine Moff Gideon in his black armor and cape with black horned Mandalorian helmet on. His helmet's like black with this little red highlights and this red. There's not. I don't know if they're red horns, but they're like black horns top of his head. And he's surrounded by 5 Praetorian guards acting as point men to project. I wrote project to protect. Hey, I let Santa proofread this. Everybody blame Santa. Blame Santa. The dastardly villain. I believe that is how the story is going to go during one of the final battles of the season as the heroes fight for control of Mandalore itself. And then I said, check out the picture, which I've already shown you guys on the video here, but here we'll look at it again like really quickly. As you can see, we have our Mandalorian styled Praetorian helmet. We have our First Order chest piece, like an earlier version of the First Order chest piece, and sort of like basically things. The rest of it's pretty close to the Royal Guards and the Praetorian Guards, like armor and stuff. And you can see like the weapon. And I believe in my original article, I mentioned that they even showed they had the pink light coming off of the weapons. So you know how they have those like little blowtorch kind of things or whatever. But I don't see it on this picture for what it's worth. But yeah, and so from what I understand, this was posted around the Mandalorian season 3 Foundry set, and when they were getting these guys ready, this is something that they would look at, to like check it, like here's what they're supposed to be looking like. So I know everybody's gonna talk about Snoke. So the Snoke gun. I know everybody will immediately knee jerk to Snoke is in season 3 of Mando. If he is, I do not have the smoking gun on that piece of information. What I do have is an exclusive I broke back in October of 2021 that Andy Serkis was in Star Wars Andor. While doing the legwork on that Andy Serkis scoop, more than one source said they thought he was doing motion capture work too. Pilgrim, aka Andor, had 0 motion capture work that we know of. This may be a bias of the sources considering Serkis's legacy in visual effects acting. However, unlikely, Foundry did begin shooting in late September of 2021, so there was concurrent overlap, making it possible Andy Serkis played Snoke again. I cannot connect Andy Serkis to Foundry or having filmed anything in secret during the production of Pilgrim, aka Andor. There is no Snoke gun here. So, and then I tell people to make sure they check out the show where I will drop a few more details, and I'll drop those right now, but make sure you subscribe to the channel, become a channel member, become a Patreon supporter. You can also get the show as audio versions on Spotify and all that jazz. All right. So don't be a loser. But what do we got? What else do we got? So one thing that actually happened, the very first time I ever saw the actual lobsters doing lobster stuffs, they were fighting the Mandalorian. 2 of them were fighting Din, and it was later in production, and so I'm not exactly sure 100% how many there are of these Praetorians. I've been under the impression that there's quite a few, not like 100 or anything, like 5, just like in the Last Jedi. But they're going to go up against him, and I believe that these are Moff Gideon's boys. They're going to be his point guards or whatever. So what we're going to have is them all kind of teaming up and then fighting against Din at some point. Now, this is speculation on my part, but I am wondering if we're going to have Katie Sackhoff's character going up against the final part, going up against the Mythosaur and sort of beating the Mythosaur, becoming Mandalore, while Din is fighting this other fight. Are these two things going to be going concurrently? Because that's the picture I'm getting. But as I mentioned, this shoot was fucked. The shoot was a mess. It was all over the place. And there were reshoots. They had to go and redo things. They were not because it was bad, but because like things changed. Everybody was overworked. It was a fucking mess. So when you end up with that kind of situation, it's hard to put things totally in order and have everything going smoothly together. There is always the chance. I would entertain the possibility that, what we saw in the trailer with Pershing and that one lady, I don't remember the other lady's name, but they're like scoping out how to break Gideon out of prison.
Yeah.
Maybe they are the ones there with the laser pointer telling these guys where to go. Maybe they bust him out and give him the armor and then they all fight out. But I'm pretty sure that this duel with these guys and Din is very big, a very big thing in it. And it was shot in 2 locations even. I believe that picture of the helmets that leaked out was from, I want to say it was from the Long Beach set. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure it was from Long Beach. And so they may fight more than once even, but all I know is that they will definitely fight, they will definitely fight the Mandalorian one time. And I know for a fact that at least two of them go up against Din at one point.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I don't have like 5 against Din. Yeah, and I don't know if they die, if the other ones die. I don't know what happens. There's but this is the final design. Is what I've been told of it right here, and so yeah, so it's nice to bring the whole story together. The original pictures that leaked out did not come from me. They just ended up on the internet on like Reddit or 4chan or something. And I
remember those.
So, and Mando was filming in Long Beach at the time. Yeah, and right here you can see the actual helmets just by themselves. Right here we see at least 3 of them. And I believe that there's like 5. Oh, this is the day after the Grogu story. The Grogu
all I see is the Atari logo upside down. But...
And this is the set on which they're on, by the way, right here. And yeah, so it was an interesting, but it was nice to be able to pull all of this together. And like I said, guys, sometimes Star Wars makes you mad, but always appreciate that crew. Because it's not the crew's fault. The crew does good work. They do what they're told, And
I don't think we imagine if we went on a crew rant, like this fucking crews. That says all I'm blaming now is the crews,
You know what,
fucking
man?
Crew shit, fucking job.
Deborah Chow had great direction on Kenobi. Just that crew wouldn't listen.
Yeah, fucking IATSE, man.
Man, dude, that best boy. That best boy just does what he wants.
Katzenberg would know how to fix him.
Yeah.
Right now, some union cat in LA wants to rip my fucking throat out.
Yeah. But I mean, it was nice to actually see it, And the thing that I need to reiterate, and that when the conversation, if it does go this way and you're a part of it on the internet, it's weird because you want to defend the crew. You want to defend these guys and gals and thems and theys, but you don't want to make it sound like it was a bad production, AKA their work was bad. That's not what it is.
Except for Kenobi, their work was bad.
No, that wasn't the crew. That wasn't the crew. That was the direction. They were told to shoot it that way.
It was the skeleton crew. Their work was bad.
Hold your breath on that one. Just wait, you'll see. Mm-hmm.
I can't do it. I would never survive on Avatar 3. I can't hold my breath for 7 seconds, let alone the 7 minutes.
Yeah, but I mean, and like on that crew stuff, man, like over the last, I don't know how many months it's been months now, but just there's this one person, and it doesn't matter who you talk to, they always say the same name, and I don't know if like they put it on him and he's happy to be the villain, or if he is the villain of this story. And I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to say his name, but boy, your morale over there is low, and I'm sure they know that now. I'm sure they know it by like what they're facing, and boy, we'll see though. There will be stuff coming out, I think, but that said, I like the design. I like what it implies too, because it's sort of like I'm getting this idea in my head, and this is just my idea. Never get attached to your own ideas. Just go with it, and if it's not it, fucking move on. But I'm getting the impression that maybe these are Mandalorians. The Praetorians start as Mandalorians, and they're on the Imperial side of things after Star Wars Rebels. And then maybe they end up sort of becoming part of the early First Order. Then when the avatar for Palpatine shows up, Snoke, and Gideon's no longer running the show, maybe they are just that's their origin, and that's sort of what seems to be the implication. And we run into another thing here where I don't know if the show's going to promise you the origin of these characters. I don't know if it's going to tell you for certain, here's where they come from, idiots. Remember episode 8? This is it, dummies. It might just be like, hey, here's the implications.
Filoni just hit me up. He can't come on, but he wanted you to know that they're calling them Avastars.
Avastars.
That's what they're. Yeah, you can't. Okay. He's busy. He's watching Avatar 2 for the 8th time right now.
That's probably true based on how much he liked Avatar 1 when I talked to him that one time about it. He was like, I was like, man, I'm talking about Savage Opress, and you can't stop talking about the Na'vi, bud.
Imagine he and I get stuck in an elevator.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
oh, somebody's getting pregnant.
I'm going to bring up Avatar, because if this guy knows I do the joke, it's not going to go well.
He's like, so you're the one who gives me that stupid accent, makes fun of my hat. And
I'm like, I love Avatar. I love it. All right, watch it in 3D.
Yeah, but yeah. So I don't know.
This is cool. Cool scoop.
Yeah. It's nice to see it, all brought together. And I've seen the final like costume of this before, and it's very. I mean, this is it. Like having a photo of them like in costume would obviously be rad, but honestly, you get it now. There's really not this doesn't lose anything, but this is and I didn't want to let me see if I have it on me, but yeah, this is 100% from Foundry on the origin piece of this right here. And the costume designer, it says in the notes, was Shauna Trepic. TRPCIC. Trepic. It's like weird vowel place. That's an interesting name. TRPCIC. Shauna Trepic. Tresic.
Wow, you're just getting hung up on this one, aren't you, Jason?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of tripping out on it. But yeah.
Well, good job, Shauna.
Say there. Oh, there you go. That's where it came from. But anyways,
you think Campy is gonna have to show my shitty logo when they bring this up on a show?
I don't know. You're gonna have to care.
Look at the worst logo ever. I love it. Like I wanted. This is the worst logo. Like hey. You don't even have to try, folks. That's the trick. All you need is the scoops, right, Jason? Which you got. So,
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Fucking 3 chords and the truth is all you need, brother.
By the way, quick question since we're at the tail end of this. Did you ever listen to the Christmas album, the Star Wars Christmas album that Anthony Daniels did?
The one, Bon Jovi makes his career premiere on there with what are you gonna
somehow I missed that my whole life. Yeah, I missed it my whole life until the other day.
It's us.
And listening to Anthony Daniels basically say bells over and over again, it almost sounds like balls. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it.
We're doing good, Mr. Ty Cox. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Carlos asked, does Din keep the Darksaber? I'm gonna go with I actually don't know. I know he has it in the season, so I can't say. A part of me kind of wants Gideon to get it back though, because when you see Gideon in that armor, it would look pretty fucking sweet with the Darksaber.
I want him to get dark chucks. You know, like the Darksaber is one thing, but dark chucks. All right, he does the dark chucks. He does the.
I thought you meant like Converse, like shoes, like Chuck Taylor's, like Chucks.
No, I'm not that trendy.
Okay, well,
nunchucks, chucks,
nunchucks.
Fellow chucker.
Yeah,
he goes fellow chucker, eh?
That's how Bruce Lee died, though. Killed himself on accident, didn't he? Is that the story? He like hit himself.
Nunchucks.
That's what they used to say. I don't think that was ever true.
No, that would have made a great ending to The Last Dragon, though, right? Or the Bruce Lee story.
I'm not even joking though. I heard that it was like a theory was that he had injured himself with nunchucks before and then died after. You know, from the hit or something. But yeah, Arya says, so where does Thrawn tie into all of this? No way he doesn't know about these guards and what Moff is up to. Wrong show, Arya. You're on the wrong show. You're on the right show. This is the right show. But this is the Mandalorian season 3, and Thrawn hasn't come to the party yet.
Thrawn's
this is and like these things may be happening concurrently in terms of the timeline. Like they may be parallel to each other. But we don't really know for certain because there's evidence that the Ahsoka series has moments that take place during the Mandalorian season 2. So I'm not completely. I honestly, I don't know. I don't know how it all works itself out. So Thrawn, he might not know what's going on if he's been out in this other place, hanging out with Balon and Shin and these new golden crackly stormtroopers. I don't know if he's thinking about these guys at the moment, but he might. I mean, he could. But did the reshoots involve digitally removing Pedro Pascal's mustache? No, I think he has the mustache in the earlier season. I think he rocks that. Doesn't he have a mustache in Mandalorian season 2 when he takes the helmet off? Yes, yeah, he's got the mustache. He's good. He's good. But
little peach fuzz.
Yeah. And then somebody in chat knows. When does it come out? March? Was it March something now? Like early March?
Sure.
Yeah, it's not far. It's not.
No, it's not far. It's not far.
It's actually really, really, really close. But and then I like your theory about the guards. Yeah. And so like I said, I'm not sure if these guys are only at the end of it or not. And they were reshooting a lot of the end. A lot of the finale is where things had to be redone. I don't know, like most of the stuff I heard about people leaving, I've heard new stuff tonight, even, but was on the newer production. So I'm not sure if people left on that and if that was related or if they just worked people like to the bone, on this one and then jumped right over to the next one. We're like, let's do it again and let's do it again. And they're like, no, we're not.
James Cameron gets the bad rap. Look at Star Wars.
Yep.
If only we could tell the stories, Chase. If only we could tell the stories.
That's what I want more than anything. Is for a crew member to send me a picture of Grogu in his little mech suit. Like the fleeting time I saw it was like, look. Oh, you're not supposed to see that. You see it? Look, and it's like burned into my memory, but also in this cloud of ambiguity. If I saw the picture again, I'd be like, yep, that's the one I saw. But I also, if I had to draw that one by hand right now, I couldn't do it.
Your mind reconstructs different images every time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that with everything.
Yeah.
So chances the date gets pushed back on Mandalorian, Julian. And thank you for being a channel member, by the way. If I've never thanked you, I appreciate it. I don't think Mandalorian will be pushed back, and I don't think Ahsoka will be pushed back. I think that there's just going to be stuff going on, or it's been rough. It's been rough for those crews. I think the Ahsoka shoot wasn't rough though. It sounds like they had it made in the shade on Ahsoka, and Mandalorian and the other ones are the ones where it's been a bit rougher. So, and then Arya says, Andy Serkis in mocap suit. What are you trying to tell us, Jason? That's what I'm trying to tell you, Arya. I don't know. I don't have the smoking gun to tell you. Yeah, he did Snoke while he was playing. What's his name? Gino? Was it Gino? What was his name in
Giancarlo.
No, Andy Serkis.
Oh, Andy Serkis, Kino,
not Gino, Kino. Yeah, while he was playing Kino, I don't know if he was going and playing Snoke on the side. I don't know if the people who were confirming that Andy Serkis was there and doing mocap, I don't know if they were being presumptuous that he was doing mocap. And I did the legwork this weekend again, just to try to see if I could pull out anything.
It was a legwork day.
Yeah. It was a legwork. It's a leg day. And no, for the last couple of days, actually, since I haven't been dying. once I got up, I was like, I'm okay. I can do it. I could do it again, Jack. As I said.
Back to scoops.
But yeah. So, anyways, I don't have that connection, but we do have Foundry beginning filming at the same time. We literally have those things going on concurrently. So there is a chance they could have been well, we have Andy Serkis over in the UK. We could get him over, and do the mocap work, and we could just, direct him remotely. And then we could bring that work over and then, do digital Snoke. I mean, there's a chance, but I do think you should not expect it. I don't think you should let it disappoint you if that doesn't happen, because right now I am telling you, I don't believe that is happening. I just go, well, it could happen. There's food for thought here. There's definitely the possibility, but there is no promise of it at all. And yeah, and then Rob, just based off of the design stuff, you got anything to say about it? I mean, you're a design guy. I don't know if you had anything to share.
Well, I mean, look, key art is tough because it's out of context, right? So it's all lit, but I mean, look, it looks fine. It looks cool.
Yeah.
It looks it's the kind of look I had hoped to see in the prequels back in the day, so I just hope that these cats actually fight and get to kick some ass and they're not just background fodder,
right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that fight, that fight that they have in episode 8 is unbelievably good. That one against
Kylo, but will they continue that, or will they just if they walk on and off frame? I'm like, well, what's the point?
Are these? Yeah, well, yeah, these guys do have a fight, and I don't know how good it'll be. But also they're going up against Mando, and so I think that automatically changes the dynamic of what that fight could look like.
Right.
I mean, Mando will probably have his sword. He's going to use his dark saber against them. I believe he does. I'm pretty sure what I saw, he had that sword against them.
And there'll be actual stunt people. So when you look at the fight on Boba Fett season 3 between him and the big bulky Mando, that shit's dope. But when Giancarlo's trying to do some sword work, you're like, eh.
Yeah.
No, I love him, but
yeah. He's a chicken man, Put a helmet on him though. He's doing flips. He's like Count Dooku.
Right. Count Dooku. Should put the helmet on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, if he puts the helmet on and he starts breakdancing and doing all sorts of wushu and shit, he does the Darth Maul flips. Then he takes it off and he's back to normal.
Yeah.
That would be the best.
And then Lemon says, sounds like Boba doesn't fit into the story. And people say have said that he's around. I haven't seen anything that makes me go, yeah, he is around. People said that they saw him in a fucking trailer that was shown at one of those convention things. There was no proof of it. I don't think he's in that trailer, honestly. I think if he was, it would have been way more noted. People would have mentioned it, and it would have just been like 3 guys going, "Yup, he was there." I could be wrong. It could weirder things have happened, but I'm betting against it right now. And I'm curious as to what the edit's of Mando 3, how it will turn out. But right now, I'm betting on it. I'm betting on this going where she's going to Bo-Katan is going to be leading that important part of the Mandalorian stuff, and I think Din is going to be fighting these guys and Moff Gideon while she is taking on the Mythosaur. There's a chance these things are happening concurrently in this story. There's a chance. It's not a promise, but it does seem like it's very possible. And they shot like all of, I remember they shot all of like the Mines of Mandalore stuff. And then they were going to do the super secret, don't tell anybody Mythosaur fight. When your crew hates you and you say it's super secret, they tend to tell me things. Just gonna throw it out there. That's when they tend to have bigger mouths, but yeah, so the way it goes. But yeah, I think it's looking cool though. I'm curious if these are the same guys. Are these the same guys from episode 8? Like, are they do they start here and are they, still going strong in episode 8, or is it just like the same little order of knights? It very well could be the same people, depending on how they want to do the story. But it is pretty fun to throw these guys in fans and stuff. Like, I like that shot when Ryan has him thrown into the fan and like you see like the fucking feathers come out almost. Like it's almost like the pillow goes in there. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun shit. And if you hate the Last Jedi though, go watch that fight on slow-mo and just let all of your Mary Sue, all your culture war rage, just put it aside for a minute and just look at the beauty of that fucking set and that fight. It's fucking great. It really is. I never understood when people didn't like the Phantom Menace. I personally think it's dumb fun and in a good way, but that like end fight is so fucking cool, and I feel even better about that fight because I love the costumes and the set and the lighting and everything in that sequence.
When we hold on one second.
Yeah. But
when I went to go when I went to go see the Phantom Menace, we were in the army. We saw it in the morning for showing. We stayed up all night outside this theater because and the film ripped like right when they get onto Naboo, like just like Gremlins, just ripped, just like Gremlins. I'm like the motherfucker, and so we all had to go home. And packed theater, 300 people. They we called later on that day, and they're like, "Yeah, it's gonna be back up. We got to back up, but the showing isn't until like 10:50." So we're like, "Fine, we're going." So we went, and people were tired, man. People were tired. 300 people kind of all crowd back in, and the pod race didn't kind of wake them up, But that Darth Maul fight, that woke up the whole fucking theater. like you just saw 300 people wake up and cheer for the first time in that movie. Like,
yeah. Do you ever hear the audience? Do you ever have like the audience reaction, like kind of like burned into your mind? That moment when Darth Maul's lightsaber gets broken in half. I remember the audience like really fucking cheering, and every now and then when I'm watching the movie, like I remember that, like it kind of comes.
They were pumped up when Ewan was like getting ready. You know what I mean? When he's like, and right when it up, and it's the whole fucking. I never seen anything like it at Star. I never seen a dead quiet Star Wars crowd that just erupted simultaneously around the 12:30 a.m. at a specific point in the movie. So,
Crawling Chaos says the Red Guards are resurrected by Palpatine loyalists. They will eventually be the ones we saw in The Last Jedi. And that's the whole thing though, is are they sort of doing a retcon / revision / you didn't know the whole story kind of thing here with these Mandos? Because I don't know. It certainly looks like the same guys, just different era. And they got Mandalorian mask on now. They have Mandalorian helmets. A little bit closer. It's basically the Mandalorian helmet with the Emperor's Royal Guard kind of thing mixed together, as we can see. So I don't know. But anyways, I think we did it though. I think we did it. We came out here. We showed the costume. I think we did it. And we'll be back on Monday morning or Monday afternoon at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And Rob will be nice to you. I think Rob, you gonna be nice to them? We're nice to?
No,
Rob won't be nice to you.
Nice. What do I mean? Like, I don't pick fights. Well, I do pick fights. I am mean sometimes, but I mean not usually.
Yeah. I mean, I heard Rob walked up, took Ty Cox's hat off, put it on himself. Like, don't do that, Rob. We had to take it out, put it back on. That's why we don't let Rob around Filoni, because I think he'd do that to Filoni too.
It's why I like the Three Amigos. It's got Chevy Chase and Steve Martin, and everyone's just an asshole in that movie. It's my kind of movie. The only guy I don't like is Martin Short, and he's the nice one, right?
Yeah.
Fucking Ned. So.
Nolan says, "Will Balon wear a badass helmet too?" I don't think so. But Shin has cool armor. But anyways, so we'll be back then. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what the Praetorians and Mando season 3 will look like. And I don't know what episode they finally come in. Like I said, it could be early and late or just late. But I know most of the stuff that was shot around the reshoot time. So I'm kind of banking on them being towards the back end of it. But, and like I said, just to be clear 100%, the crew did a good job. The crew didn't do a bad job. Because there are problems doesn't mean the crew did a bad job. And also, don't forget that this, seeing this on screen is going to be a lot cooler than when you see it here. I'm betting on you having a level of sophistication that you can translate with the power of imagination what it's going to look like on screen. And if you can't, well, maybe the spoiler club over here isn't for you, But yeah. All right. Say good night, Rob.
Good night, Rob.
I like spaceships.
He does.
It doesn't go.
It doesn't want to do it.
Come on, let's go.
We're still here. We're not. This is why I get angry. Can't get off this fucking show.
Okay.